knock-on effects, the ripple effects, the
Okay.
the what do you call them, the waves, right? That happen.
Now I'm live.
There's going to be an impact, and
Welcome,
also one
everybody.
more
This is
quick little
our.
announcement.
We're
Tomorrow
going to
night,
start this
we
up
don't usually have a
every day,
show
just
talking
having
to cannabis,
live
but
commentary on world events.
tomorrow
And
we've got
right now,
Jim
we're
Ferguson from
using
Brave Crane
world events
International
as brought
and
forward by
Nicola Charles of Brave
Wayne
Crane
Peters
International.
at What's Up Canada. So yeah, we're going to be tuning in, and we'll chat here and there. And if you have any questions, or if you want to tune into the show with us, definitely check us out. Check me out on X, and also tune into Wayne's show as well, especially if we're not here. But here we go. Let's go.
US was any less swampy. I was not saying that Canada is more swampy, but I will say by population, Canada is probably more swampy because all of your swamp rats down in the or swamp zombies in the U.S. have all got their junk going on up here in Canada, and we have like 10% of the population. So they probably own the vast majority of Canada just because it's like them going to I don't know, mini golf or something like that. So yeah, it's definitely been an interesting couple of days so far since Trump won. We're going to talk about some of that. We're going to start off as always though, guys, with reminding everybody, make sure you get plugged in on Substack. It's been up to this point, the other than even even the stuff I've built has had issues, but Substack has been reliable so far. So make sure you get plugged in over there. I've just added it down here below. It's in the links on almost all of the show notes on all of the platforms. And we have a full slate of platforms tonight, guys. So Substack is the
So
place to get things I
I don't know if
can't
he's going to get
deliver
started yet or
on the
not,
social
but
media
what
platforms.
are any
I
thoughts
can
about
put,
so far?
some people will try while they're in the middle of the show, and I tried this too, to try and put
Oh,
links
you're
in
muted or
all of the
something.
platforms for everything that I was talking about. And
No,
it's
there's nothing I
free. It's
disagree
all
with. It's all very
it's
straightforward.
all been
But
Yeah.
saved. So
I can see where he's coming from.
Substack is
It's
the place to go.
Canada's
You
for
can
us. I
get
mean, I think
links
you and I
to
see it as a little
our
hideout too.
Mm-hmm.
Whisper
Yeah.
guys.
There's some reprieve.
We
There's
do
certainly some
interviews
reprieve.
every
Good to
Friday.
see some unity in the
Myself and
nation.
William and Buck
A
on
lot of
Fridays.
division. I mean, it's still
This
there,
is a great
obviously.
time to get
I did have some
plugged
fun
in.
watching some of the crybaby
One of my
videos
partners that I don't
because
get
it's
to
kind of fun to
see
watch,
nearly
right?
often
Yeah.
enough because it's really not my thing, right? But
Yeah.
I'm a
Cool.
fan.
Well, dude,
My
I
wife
can't
is
wait.
a
I'm
massive
actually looking forward to maybe
cannabis
tuning in on one of the
fan,
gold and
and
silver calls
there are
because Bryce there that he interviews,
when we gave up our
that one's
fringe
really good.
strain,
That one's a
we
good
gave
show.
up our
Talks more about the
our
economics, what's happening.
things as nations. Only nations that produce stuff have the ability to profit, right? So as we've outsourced everything and almost nothing is made in Canada and very little is made in the USA, it became very difficult for me to find partners that carried my same values. And this one does. Patriot Switch. Because I don't spend a lot of time with talking about these guys, they don't pay me to do this. That's not how it works. This is a community that co-op shops, and I've found the things that I can't live without anymore. And I found them from a family-owned manufacturer with comparable prices, actually mountains cheaper prices, just what I save alone. This is my Gatorade replacement, my electrolytes. And over the last few months, everybody have seen me feeling better, more energy, more on the ball, more consistent, never falling apart. All of those things. It's these things that allow me to do that. I'm not spending $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 for a bottle of Gatorade. I'm spending $8 and I'm getting 20 Gatorades, and I like it way better. You guys always see my drink. This is my favorite. It tastes like Christmas oranges. So for me, before I didn't drink anything but coffee.
I look forward to the day where the hardest working journalists aren't having to sell shakes on their
Yeah.
live streams. Oh yeah.
Reasons. So I just wanted to talk about the things that keep me healthy and keep me going 18 hours a day. This is a big one. Sustain.
Because it's like we are so underappreciated, you know? It's like we've been doing this work for a long time without any appreciation. In fact, not only do we not get appreciation most of the time, we're canceled or in some way deplatformed, or our work is shadow banned, so on and so forth. So we have to, like, he has to do this. We have
Yeah.
been working literally even under an oath of poverty, in essence, knowing just how corrupt the system is, refusing to partake in it, and we're we're working night and day to help people also see the truth. And so yeah, like he's got to hawk some stuff because that's how he makes his money, right?
Well, in the mainstream media, I mean, if you look at it too, they break for commercials all the time.
Yeah,
So
totally.
and his, in fact, his connection is better because he's personally endorsing it.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it's
So
actually
I
accomplishing something as well. Like in the freedom
yeah
community, it's like, how many times people have got their products and services, but they're just using that as the only way or rather as a, I think of Alex Jones, right, where he's got supplements and all that stuff. Well, dude, like you've got this, $300,000 a month budget. Do you have to do the supplements on your TV show? Whereas with Wayne, it's not that he's promoting supplements. He's actually promoting another business that is helping with the distribution of products to get away from the big companies that are, that really, honestly, profited the most from all of us sheltering in place. You know?
yeah
Yeah, the ones wrapped in the green tissue. Yes, that's why I love this. So I have gotten so much better at staying rehydrated and getting my electrolytes. And that's literally what does it for me. I'm 56 years old now. I don't take painkillers. I don't have any medications. I'm not on anything. I don't live in pain. I get all of my vitamins and supplements from these guys, and it's all made in America. So that's can all be found on my website. Links are all up here on top to my partners. I don't have sponsors and I don't have advertisers. I have partners. We work together. They help me help other people, and this is a huge way to do it. Is all kinds of that's a massive massive thing, but it was that company, Patriot Switch, the founder of that Barack Obama named the eighth most dangerous conservative in America. And you guys probably wouldn't know his name, but they named him the eighth most dangerous conservative in America because he refused to buy into globalism and the new world order and send all of the manufacturing and shipping to China. He refused. So, yeah, a lot of effort and money goes out to into trying to silence us, but kind of exactly like all the rest of the things, this is a huge parable thing. Everybody thinks Canada's getting a whole bunch of Taylor Swifts because all of the celebrities can't stand Trump and they're all leaving Canada.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
funny.
the Democrats didn't lose because they didn't have all the celebrities. They lost because they didn't have any of the real people, right? And that
Hmm.
is why this company that
That's what's
I'm
happening
partnered with
within the
is so
majority of
incredibly
Canada right
powerful.
now, I think.
We
Like the
work
people that would
together.
normally go and vote, I think there's a large majority of them now that feel disenfranchised, like nobody's connecting with them.
That I do. I am the lousiest one on earth for that. I don't run commercials. And but
We're
that
seeing more of the
is
ties
that's
to the Conservative Party about really just how neither the Liberals or Conservatives are any different. They're two
Yeah.
feathers of the same bird.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
If you're curious about looking into it, go to What's Up Canada, hit Set Me Free. It'll take you to this page. It looks like this, and you can fill in just these
Blah,
blanks.
blah, blah.
That's it. Couple of blanks. Well, that's all. Prove you're not a robot, and somebody on my team will contact you. And they're most likely going to be a little old lady that's figured out how to do this and to help others learn how to do something
It's
different.
true.
That's really all it boils down to, is learning how to do something a little bit.
It's true. I'm actually not able to work with that company. I looked into it last year because they're so old tech. Yeah, that's there. He's right. She's very well, all of them. They're very, very non-techy, which is good. There's a good side to that. It's just too bad I can't be a part of it.
And we're going to get into
What? Yeah,
guys do know each other.
if you have
And,
anything, just
they've
you
had
just
kind of a
put your
rocky
hand up there, and I'll
relationship
see it out of the corner of
over
my
the
eye and turn off
years,
the
I
volume.
think it's safe to say. And this is kind of a no-brainer, but I think it's imperative to add this into here right now, because the point that it makes will mean add up to a little bit further into the show here. But the PM Trudeau revives the Canada-U.S. Relations Cabinet Committee after Trump wins. There was a lot of people
Revives. Good word, eh? Oh, so you didn't have anything like that for a while, did you?
getting into
It's
with this. I
back when
think that
Trump
is
grabs the pussy, right?
Yeah.
that headline alone. That yep, we heard Trudeau and Freeland and Singh, interestingly enough, taking three different directions to congratulating President Trump. All of them hollow, empty, and full of crap. And people are seeing through it. They're done with it. And this is a great way to describe it. A little clip from Elon here. I like these short little clips. Again, whatever I share is not an endorsement of the individual, but they're here on this show because there is a message in what they have to say. So let's listen to this little clip from Elon about what he thinks about people.
How do you feel about that? Yeah, no, I'm asking you personally how you feel about that, because this goes. We're talking about power and influence, and
I'm saying what I care about is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what
Bingo.
I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them.
And that's it. That's the message. You see people everywhere more concerned with the perception of looking like they're good, doing good, while they're doing evil.
Mhm.
That is the satanic trance that we all seem to be captivated by. And
I've always defined evil as, well, I haven't always, but especially, I think it was probably 2020 I thought I saw it in someone else's social media feed or something like that. What evil is deception perfected.
Yep, it sure is.
but agree in 100% with his statement. Canada's fault. Don't need any. We're gonna talk a little bit about that more a little bit further into the show here. But this I caught this morning, and I knew that I was going to be playing this for everybody tonight because Tulsi Gabbard is one of those individuals that I cannot yet put a finger on how exactly I think about her. She started as a Democrat in Hawaii, served her country with distinction. She's brilliant. She's smart. And she, has changed. And now I expect to see her in the Trump Untouchables dream team coming up in the near future. when we talk about these things, guys, I know that this is all theater. I know in Canada it's all just a joke, but these are the things and the thing that take our days to get through and survive through and live through. But she has some very concise things to say about our prime minister up here in Canada that I really thought everybody should hear. I don't think Trudeau's pretty hair and fancy socks are going to let Lord Farquaad skate.
Basically, what they're telling us is you are an enemy of the state if you dare to oppose or even question the president, his administration, or his policies. Shut up, step back, fall in line, or we're coming after you.
Yep, sounds like Trudeau.
This isn't some theory. This is reality. And this is a reality we're seeing play out in Canada as we speak. You have the autocratic leader in Canada who's resorted to genuinely authoritarian and tyrannical means to suppress a peaceful mass protest against the power elite there. Everything that we see happening up north, everything from the execution of emergency powers to the freezing of bank accounts, the seizure of children from parents, the destruction of livelihoods and small businesses, all of these things could happen here. So the question I ask myself in confronting all this is, what are they so afraid of? Who are they afraid of? You know the answer. It's simple. They're afraid of us. They're afraid of a free people. They're afraid of a free society. I've got to believe that Thomas Jefferson was thinking about these cowardly, fearful leaders when he said they prefer the calm of despotism to the boisterous sea of liberty. They're afraid of the freedom that empowers each and every one of us to seek the truth, to speak freely, to question their decisions and their authority. They're afraid of losing power, knowing full well the intent of our founders when they wrote in the Declaration of Independence that governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, and that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it's the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute a new government.
When a lady talks like that, that is absolutely winning my heart.
Well, okay. So then let's just realize that most people, when they hear that, they're going to be thinking, yay, we did it. We instituted a new government by voting Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem that I have with this.
And that's exactly what you and I were talking about. It's like, okay, we don't have to do anything anymore. Trump's going to fix it all for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, we're just going to sit on the curtails of Trump and let ride this out. It's all done for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like wrong, double down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and her quoting, you know, like, well, here, her quoting the Declaration of Independence, that paragraph, that is just a slap in the face to the audience that she was speaking to. Now, I say slap in the face. I don't think she meant to do it deliberately. But we've been begging both Canadian and American, both, you know, the people of Canada and America. We've been begging for both of them to abolish the current government and institute one of their own.
Yeah.
Because neither of them are operating under a government of their own. People are telling, oh no, we've got the republic. It's like, no, your republic was gone the moment the District of Columbia was incorporated. That became your government, and that was a democracy, and that's why you're experiencing everything that you're experiencing, because you gave up the republic. You, thankfully, American can give it back. But in the States, it's like you gotta start over, folks. And I just feel it's disingenuous to use that quote in the context of a political victory in, having Trump sit on the throne. Now, what are you feeling? What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's totally true. Like we can't trust what these people are telling us. We have to take authority back over our own lives, because the moment we turn a blind eye again, they're going to put mandates back in our face.
Yep. I see this reprieve as being kind of like that. Well, let's give them a break for a little while before we crank up the volume on our next lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've already dropped hints of all this stuff already, so.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back into add to stage. What's going on here? Add to stage. There we go.
A presidential candidate who was targeted for assassination on 2 occasions. I think both sides would agree they've never
Both of
seen
those
a collapse in Secret
so
Service
suspicious.
performance.
Both of those assassination attempts were so suspicious. It'd be like they didn't even look like they were real. The way that those stories came out, I'm just like, come on, seriously? If the deep state wanted him gone, they would not have missed.
Yeah. If someone
that's
wants
not
to
something they mess up with,
Yeah.
That was staged. He used it to get sympathy votes, plain and simple.
For example, look at the Clintons, right? If the Clintons want somebody gone, they're gone. It doesn't matter if it's a body floating in a pool, they're gone.
Yeah.
There's and okay, though the press will say, "Oh yeah, it's a suspicious death," but other than that, there'll be no more commentary or nothing else heard about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
exactly.
That's what people have to realize. But on the same token, it would be very dangerous for them to off Trump because of the amount of support that he has. People would be off their rockers. I mean, maybe, but on the same token, the deep state has places to hide. So, I think they're ready for anything. So I don't know. I
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Gentlemen, thank you. This ends the official handshake.
So there was a couple of things there with that. For the most part, all of those people, except Macron is one of the few hangers on, but his days are almost done. Germany's government is collapsing. And Mr. Trudeau, now that Trump has won again, is scrambling and panicking because relations are not going to go so hot for Mr. Trudeau, given behavior like that.
Boy, they make it look like this took them by surprise so well. Oh my gosh, he won. Oh, that is just hilarious. You know what that means? One of two things. Number one, it either means that, I shouldn't say. This is high octane speculation. I believe that these people that are all panicking now, they are the little demon minions that get flicked by the demon overlord once they've lost their usefulness. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. There's Trudeau up there. We gotta just get rid of him now, right? That's what I see happening because we got Trump now, right? We got Trump now. We don't need these other idiots. We've got everything we need. We've got the support of the people. We can go forward with our plan, and they're going to run along with it because Elon did such a good job of marketing Trump for us on his platform. It was perfect. It's a perfect setup. It bothers me that I'm the only one. I feel like I'm very, very alone in that. Thanks for
Well,
joining me, folks. Thanks
it-
for joining me, Corey. I feel validated now. I'm good. I you know that ego that got stroked when I was 10 years old and I was told I did a good job when I played the piano. It really helps me feel better about my day. Thank you.
But it's a perfect example of how the people have this false idea of more centralized power being a good thing.
Yeah.
So now if Trump were to take over Canada, most Canadians might be okay with that. And then they flip the script on us and put lockdowns in, and oh well, it's just Trump. It's not that big of a deal. Well, we warned you about it. If it happens, well, we'll be saying I told you so.
Yep. It's like I said the other day, you know, folks, they gave Trump 2024 back when they put Biden in the like after Biden took his okay, you know what? We're going to use Biden for this next little bit, this next 4 years. It'll be terrible. It'll destroy the economy. These people are retarded. They are very easy to manipulate. We can tell them whatever to do just for the meantime until Trump gets his shit in gear for the next phase of this great reset. And let's get this show on the road. I mean, take a look at what happened with RFK. Did you see what happened to RFK today?
No, I didn't.
So he was, of course, you know, all excited about his health initiatives, right? And so during the campaign, Trump talked about how he was going to be part of the, part of what's going on, right? Part of what's going on for the new healthcare. Well, today, announcement came out. No, yeah, you're not going to be that much of a part of it. Well, yeah, of course he's getting thrown under the bus now. The only reason he stopped running for president was so that Trump could get the anti-vax vote. Like, hello, people, do you not see? Now he's being discarded. Yeah, I know. Well, now he's just getting access to information so he can conduct his research. Excuse me? That's information we have access to. You know, what the hell? It's public information. Stupid. How stupid can people get? I don't know. Wayne, I love Wayne. One of my best friends. We've gone through pretty much everything together. But this is something I can't figure out how he's talking like the way that he does. Anyway.
Well, and I mean, as soon as Robert F. Kennedy got removed off the ballot, it was less competition, right?
Yeah.
When the votes came to be, so I mean, people have got to look at that. I mean, ideally, yes, it would be a great mixture if the two of them ran together and changed the world. But I completely agree. It was just a prop up for everybody to come together and go, hey, look at that. They're coming in alignment. They're working together. They're going to change the world for the better. And then, once again, they'll just put in more lockdowns. They're just a couple of puppets for us to trust. The only, stop giving away your authority, people.
I'll add that in.
This is actually, I'm very interested in this deportation topic here.
Back for tomorrow morning, but as you guys were mentioning about legacy media, this is something else that has absolutely been a result of the.
Oh, he's on to another topic. That's fine.
Direction, a sudden change in direction of the U.S. leadership. With Mr. Trump, president-elect again. This is a bankruptcy moment for the legacy media. They shriek Nazi, fascist, traitor, insurrectionist at the top of their lungs for years. The country didn't believe it. Their spell is broken. The credibility is destroyed. It's a new dawn. That's part of a clip from Alex Christoforu that I didn't want to play the whole video. I have got so much to go through here yet tonight, but these things will, as they're kind of whirling around here, will kind of clip in to some of that. So we know the legacy media has been lying and denying, and I had to bring you guys this little clip of the face of Zelensky. I posted this a couple of days ago on my X account. And I
That's a good meme.
mentioned this was the day after the
That's a
election.
good
I said, the
meme.
look you get when you see your bank closing and your card stopped working. You guys know that feeling?
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure Zelensky's feeling that thing, that feeling. And how do I know that he's feeling that feeling? Because already today, on November 7th, President-elect Donald Trump's
Wait a
draft
second.
proposal to end
Wait a
Ukraine's
second. Are you telling me? Are you telling me that America was at war with Russia this whole time? No. Say it ain't so. Why does he have to do that? Why does he have to draft a proposal to end a war between nations that have nothing to do with him? Can we unpack this yet, please? Oh my God, people.
kind of impressive, don't you say? Even if it is theater, at this point, I think it's welcome.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
we can't fall into this trap of, is there a mountains and mountains of crap to clean up and storm damage and corruption and all of those things? Yes. That has been since the beginning of time and immemorial when it comes to organizing. As
Trump contracted, I think it was Boeing, to make the air filters, or sorry, to make the, not air filters, the ventilators. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course the ventilators somehow killed people. That was his order. That was his order.
And another thing a lot of people don't realize too is Boeing is a manufacturer of a lot of the bombs that are killing people in Israel right now.
So
yeah.
So we cannot give away our authority. These massive corporations are the ones that are pulling the strings, not the politicians even.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't gonna happen. But he can do way more, obviously, than entire governments can. He can do more in a day than they can just by his mere presence, than they can through all of their scheming and deception and lies and propaganda and gobbledygook, right? And what does that mean for Canada? Again, Trump's a business guy. Canada has been on the hook for NATO spending for a long time, and even the Democrats are saying it's bullshit, Canada. You got to do better. And their foreign representative to Canada says Canada 2032 Trudeau's plan, again another liberal plan, isn't good enough. And she says, I know you can do better. Kelly Craft told CTV's Question Period host Bassy Kaplis in a panel interview alongside former Canadian ambassador to the U.S. David McNaughton. And this is going to be another one of those things. There's going to be excuses. Trudeau's going to be on the hook. The other nations that are picking up the tab for NATO are, they're not going to carry Canada's weight when it comes to that. Their governments are falling apart. They're becoming broke. So as far as timing of that, I think that's kind of fortunate for Trump coming back in to end the conflicts and perhaps put a leash back on NATO with an adult and a businessman in the room rather than chihuahuas and swamp zombies like the Macrons and the Trudeaus and that ilk, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, this is like doing a renovation. U.S. is going to be doing a lot of renovating.
Well, my question is, are they going to be changing the brand of furniture?
Well, and the other thing is,
right.
why are we talking about NATO even being in operation.
Right.
NATO should be put to an end, right? That's
Mhm.
that's one of these organizations, just like the World Economic Forum, that
World Health
need-
Organization, UN, you
Yeah.
name, yeah.
dismantle them all, shut them down, and we're all going to be better off for it. NATO is
Mhm.
nothing more than a warmongering institution. That's
Yeah.
what they are.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Is unsustainable. And these far left, whacked out lunatics and swamp zombies have taken it too far. So, next clip up is 3 minutes and 39 seconds. I don't know if you caught this clip. This is today, this morning, I believe. Trump's laid out 7 plans.
Oh my God.
But
How
yeah, I just, so this
how is this not? Help me out, Corey. I gotta have patience for humanity. My concern is that my concern for humanity is starting to be fleeting.
Yeah.
How
Well,
do people not see that Trump's plan to eradicate the deep state is the plan for the deep state to enslave the people even further? Like, folks, if they wanted to fight Trump with this last election, they would have come up with somebody, right? There's like 270 million people in America that have the capacity for deeper conversation than Kamala Harris. Like they have better command of the English language than Kamala Harris. She's a bumbling idiot, right? Biden was no better. If they wanted to fight Trump, they would have found somebody that could compete with him and actually have a debate. Did you see a debate? I didn't see a debate.
No.
Was there a debate?
I think there was. Yeah, I like you, I don't even follow it. And
Yeah.
it was very obvious. Yeah, Trump basically won that on a silver platter. It was hands down no competition.
I've been saying this since 2017. This is 4D chess because the Q thing came out and it's 4D chess and Trump's playing 4D chess. It's like 4D chess isn't on the internet. Like the moves, the plays for 4D chess are not on the internet. First of all, second of all, yes, you're right. 4D chess is being played against the people.
Yeah. You're on the board, everyone. You're on the board.
Why are you? Yeah, exactly.
They oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. 7th, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. 8th, we will continue the
Translation, we're going to tighten our ability to secure everybody's data in our own databases and make sure that none of that data ever gets used against the people again. Yeah, right. Law of escalations show us that is not going to happen. You know what? You know how I'll tell whether or not I'll be able to tell whether or not this guy is actually going to do something. I'll tell you how I know. If Trump is actually going to do something for the people, okay, first thing he's going to do is deport everybody that has come in. That's the first thing he's going to do. Yeah. The next thing he's going to do is that he's going to either evict, there's going to be one of three things. Then in order for the reasoning to be convinced that he's actually on the people's side. So mass deportation, first of all. The second thing that he would need to do is he would need to evict exile or execute as needed those who were responsible.
Yeah.
That's the next thing. And then the third thing that he would need to do is completely dissolve all of the three-letter agencies that were started by the Nazis who gave up Hitler as part of the deal for their having, ended the war.
Yeah.
That
Well,
Fourth
and-
Reich came right over to America and started the CIA. And Trump still he's had an entire, first of all, he had a whole term to do it last time. Oh, but he, was playing the 4D chess. Yeah, huh? So now he's got a second term, which, by the way, has to be his last.
Yeah.
If he cared about the people, he would start with those things. That's if he cared, by the way. Remember that.
And I'll always remind people too, if he cared, he would have taken more action on the vaccines than he did. He pushed it, everyone. He pushed it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to admit it or not, okay, maybe he didn't put mandates down, but he was heavily invested in Operation what was it? Warp Speed. He did it all, guys. You can't be on his side. He's just as guilty as everyone who pushed it. Fauci, you name it. He did it.
Yep. That was under his command.
Yeah, I want him to face the firing squad just as big as everyone else.
At any given moment, he had the opportunity to take responsibility for the behaviors of the organization of which he became president. He refused. And furthermore, not only did he refuse to stop it from happening, while the crime was being committed, nothing got done. Nothing was undone.
And let's also point this out. He has said nothing, even up to this point, about releasing January 6ers.
Yeah.
Okay. So does he care about the people that fought for him? I don't know. I don't see evidence of that either. So, everyone who's looking to this guy as a big flame of light, I don't know, man. I don't see it. You don't see it.
No.
It's time for us to stand united together to make the change that needs to happen, because these people aren't going to do it for us.
And remember, the enemy is the government.
Yeah.
The enemy is the government, not
one
wing of the government, the entire government.
Yeah. The government is the three-letter agencies, and the three-letter agencies are the government. They're all one. They're all working on the same hand.
Yeah, with the expressed deliberate intent to take life, liberty, and property. That's their job. That's their directive, and they've publicly stated that. Anyway.
100%. That's part of the something that has yet to be determined. What does Bobby Kennedy, meaning we're going to make America healthy again, mean? Because the if he's going after the DOJ and the corruption,
that is a good comment.
then
at least we can see some
take apart
maturity on these
how
topics.
far does that?
Right? Trump owns shares in Pfizer and J&J.
Yeah,
we know Trudeau does too.
Mm-hmm. Well, Trudeau, I don't know about the Pfizer and J&J, but I do know this conversation was happening on X earlier today, that David Martin showed, and with receipts, in response to, he made a video in response to a journalist that said that he didn't provide any sources for his claim that Trudeau profited from the lipid nanoparticle technology that was used in the experimental bioweapon of mass destruction that had to be put into everybody's arms or else. That there, I get upset about this because that there is what he was saying Trudeau had done with receipts. The journalist said, you know, David Martin doesn't know anything about what he's talking about, doesn't provide any sources. And David Martin is like, you're literally providing commentary on my report that has the sources, saying I didn't provide the sources.
Yeah.
And he made that video, I think it was in 2022, maybe early 2023. You know?
And
like it is again, if Trump actually cared, if he actually wanted to be doing something that was helping the people, like don't worry, I got my failures, right? I haven't done it.
Sure.
I feel like I haven't done enough, for sure. But I mean, I was in the trenches with Wayne during 2021, directly helping people tell their employers how they were culpable in this crime by mandating this as making it a condition of employment. That's, first of all, it's against the law. Second of all, it's and the reason we know it's against the law because it's called exercising authority over consent. And exercising authority over consent is defined as assault. So the fact that this has occurred isn't something that's up for discussion. This is what's happened, and Trudeau definitely profited from the lipid nanoparticle technology. And not even a question about it. Nobody's raising any questions about it.
And the one thing too that I want to add that people should be very upset about to hold their government here in Canada accountable is I remember finding the article even from CBC and Global News stating that from somewhere in Manitoba, the coronavirus research was actually sent to China, and that was coordinated between our governments. So that is literally the direct attack on the people.
Yep, totally.
Treason. It's treason. 100%.
Yep, high treason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I put up on X the other day the punishment for high treason in all the Commonwealth nations. The sentence is death by hanging. You know,
TDS.
Act accordingly, folks.
Delirious, delusional, and dangerously stupid.
You voted for a racist, a rapist, a dictator. You voted for a bully, a bigot, and a narcissist. Even the Germans tried to warn us, but you didn't listen. You didn't listen to the historians, the psychologists, the educators, and the intellectuals. Of course not.
It's hilarious that they talk about historian. They can't even name a fucking historian if they tried.
Educated and to create an us versus them mentality.
It's always the dimmest folk who go on about educated experts. If you're wondering why these lefties are so triggered, so shocked by reality, so out of touch with their fellow Americans, well, it could be because they consume the type of media I'm about to show you now. Here are some of our favourite media leftists who were convinced that Donald Trump was toast, that Kamala was going to win and win easily.
In my humble view, lights out.
Please welcome back the next president of the United States.
I think it's going to be a blowout, actually. I don't think it's going to be a close race. I think there are going to be those Republicans that just vote for Harris.
It'll be tied on election day, as always it will. The polls will be tied, and then he'll lose.
You call us trash. Oh, JD Vance, you just stepped up in a way that I've never seen in my political life, and I worked for Sarah Palin.
I would say take Harris over 270 electoral votes. Let these fools and these...
This comment is important. Bailey just got this from a friend. Thoughts: unless Trump stops nanotechnology graphene from being put into our bodies without our knowledge, consent, and completing the biodigital convergence, the only way that can be stopped
that's a good audience
is if Bobby
on
Kennedy
show.
does what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
So that's what is what we need to think about that, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to replace our food with exactly that crap. So
They already
I think
have.
Bobby Kennedy Jr. love
They
him
were
or hate
doing
him,
that in 2020.
agree with everything or not, may just be
They were
the most
experimenting,
important
putting the
man
mRNA in lettuce
on the
in
planet
2020.
right now
Yeah.
for saving humanity as we know it.
Let's
If you're
go,
not going
Mark,
to take
and
the
do
vaccine,
something.
it's in your food.
What's that?
If you wouldn't take the vaccine, it's in your food.
Yeah.
You wrote Trump is toast. Do you stand behind that today?
Oh, even more so. I feel the same way that I felt a few weeks ago that Trump is toast.
And they're not taking the loss well. Here is Sunny Hostin of The View lashing out at white women without college degrees.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men actually voting more for him.
Those awful women and Latino men, how dare they think for themselves? By the way, the exit polls showed that the majority of married men, unmarried men, and married women voted for Trump. It was the unmarried women who backed Kamala. What was it that JD Vance said about that
Not
group?
Canada.
And Sunny also made some absurd claims about losing her civil rights. The desperation to be a victim is strong in this one.
I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in
Less right. You know, they don't even know the meaning of the word right if they're talking like that. You can't, like, rights don't work that way. Everybody has them. They're always there. You don't have them taken away from you. They may be infringed, but you have them. Your daughter doesn't have less rights than you. Oh my gosh. What a joke.
in his to enjoy. I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. So again,
One here, she claims that Florida is a fascist state.
It's a pure Project 2025 in miniature in Florida. And that kind of extreme, sort of extremist, right-wing, fascist type government in Florida, does that make it a more attractive place?
Oh dear. And if you're in the habit of consuming media like that, then you may react like this when Donald Trump has a landslide victory.
We may not have rights tomorrow.
Look at the psychedelic aliens in the background, eh?
It's not just the women.
Anyone else having a meltdown? I don't know how to do this right now. I'm just not. I can't deal with this right now.
Imagine that left and right are both doing this. They are. Well, both the left and right are doing this. It looks different, manifests differently. But the left and right are both very much caught up in this mentality that who sits on the throne is so important. Because that, you know, my rights, right? Going back to the rights, my rights are infringed if so-and-so gets into power. Seriously? If that position has so much power, what the fuck are you doing electing that someone sits in the position that's capable of doing that? Why are you tolerating a system of governance that has the capacity to take away your rights? What the fuck are you doing? The instructions are in the Declaration of Independence. It tells you right there what you're supposed to do if someone has so much power in that position that they are capable of affecting your purpose. You are not supposed to endorse such a government to exist.
Yeah.
So you going out and voting for it and then getting all upset about it is the equivalent of, you know, I can't, like, you have the consciousness of a worm drilling through soil. Like, the only thing that's on your mind is where do I get the next bite of nutrients? That's the level of consciousness that you are approaching this. If you're still going out there voting for this, what are you doing? Rant over. You don't tolerate that. If your government is capable of abusing you, you stop everything and you dismantle anything that has the capacity to do that. And then you go to the polls.
Yeah, like what's the right to bear arms? What's the right to free speech? That's written in your constitution, folks. That's written in Canada's Bill of Rights. Well, not the right to bear arms, but the right to free speech.
Yeah.
We all have it. Why aren't we exercising it? Now we should be taking our governments to town over it.
Totally. My little rant there lost us a bunch of views, eh? Like literally my views went down to half of what they were.
Upward transfer of wealth from the working class, the hardest working Americans, into the pockets of the elites, the chattering class, the political class, the economists who are creating this policy. And as a result, working class Americans of all races stopped seeing themselves reflected in the Democratic Party. And when Trump showed up on the scene, it's really amazing, Rita. How did he get all these Democrats to vote for him? He simply lifted the Democrats' pro-labor, pro-working class economic agenda right off of them. It was the Democrats who used to believe we need a strong border to protect working class.
Is that not evidence? Oh shoot, I wasn't
Yeah, you're
doing
not
it. I
sharing
wasn't
the
bringing. Sorry about that. Could you hear it?
Yeah, I could hear.
You could hear it. Okay. So yeah, again, proof that this was rigged. We won. And all of a sudden now all of the videos about voter fraud and how that was occurring, all of the ballots being moved around, taken to people's homes and all the rest, like all of the videos that were coming out about how much this was going to be rigged. Oh, we got to watch out. Trump wins by a landslide, and all of a sudden, oh no, we're good. No, let's not look at the polls. Let's not look at these machines. They're good. Everything's fine. And then these people come on the show and they come and talk about how awesome it is. And isn't it just amazing that it worked out this way? Oh, yeah. Isn't it amazing how it just worked out this way? Oh.
Over 100,000 voted for Harris, and the number's almost perfect there. And do you see that changing? Do you see this political realignment sticking for the foreseeable future?
TikTok didn't do anything.
It all depends on where the parties go from here. So the GOP before.
There's that comment saying that TikTok is ruining people, and it's like, no, it hasn't done anything to ruin people. It's just a platform. It's just a piece of software that is on your phone.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything. It's just a piece of software on a phone. That's all it is. We're the destroyers. We're the destroyers. The media is the amplification of our consciousness. That's all it is. It's the amplification of our consciousness.
For wanting to feed their children, right? If they go back to their embrace of strong borders, they could very easily win back a lot of these voters. The problem is that their donor class, the George Soroses of the world, want that open border. They really don't believe in nation states. They really don't believe in putting Americans first. And so you have this situation where the donor class of each side is very antithetical to the needs of working class Americans. And, we have one party that we have shown is willing to take on its elites, which is Donald Trump, who doesn't care what the elites think about him.
Did you know that Donald Trump's, he was bailed out of bankruptcy?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Bailed out of bankruptcy. Yeah. And the bank that bailed him out? Rothschilds.
from this
The
loss. They're just
elites.
talking about race and gender again and blaming the American
Oh, he
public for
doesn't.
being too racist and too
Hang on.
sexist.
He doesn't care about the elites. You're right. The elites care about him.
Victory.
Even care
So
for
many in
him.
the media, and how did so many pollsters get this election wrong?
So the polls have been.
How did the pollsters get this election wrong? Oh my God, this is hilarious.
Vote harder.
To give them your time on a phone call with a pollster, right? And so they oversample for the college educated, they oversample for college educated women. The abortion problem here is this, Rita. You had the Democrats running on a made up problem, which is that there was going to be a national abortion ban, which Donald Trump very clearly said he would veto because he believes in the right to an abortion for 12 to 15 weeks and for exceptions for the mother's health.
Oh yeah, we got to really delineate. Yeah, he's okay with murdering. He's fine with ending life. Just up to this point, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important to the far right radical left. Abortion isn't health care. It's not Medicare. It's not even about the right to choose. It's about depopulation. For every abortion, they have to bring in 2 migrants, at least 2 migrants, to replace that source to the future of the economy.
That's right.
And 1 to grow it. So for every abortion, and people think that abortion doesn't matter to them, they're overlooking that basic fact. For every abortion that happens.
And here's the thing. You have go ahead. We literally care, but we get it. You got to go murder the baby. Fine. That's fine. We're not paying for it. That's my thing. Like I don't care. I don't care what you guys choose to do with your stupid laws. I'm not paying for someone else to have the procedure. They got to come up with it themselves. I'm not paying for it. That's
Your
what
mistake.
yeah, exactly. Why am I having to fit the bill for your having lacked the capacity to do family planning?
Jobs overseas or imported 15 million people to do them here for less money. They're just sick of it. They're sick of being called racists for wanting to feed their family. Their grievances are real, and Donald Trump gave them that dignity back. And I think that this.
Oh, yeah.
You need a man.
The savior of the world. Oh, you
need a
poor
man.
women out there who failed to attract a quality, high trust man. It's okay. Daddy Trump's got you.
Oh, I heard the stupidest thing on Sirius XM yesterday after Trump won. They're like, we all know that there's things that we don't want to talk about today.
Yeah.
We all know that some people are having a really hard time. It's okay. The world is still spinning. We're not all gonna die. I'm like, are we really gonna go about life like this? I'm like seriously.
Oh yeah.
When is it? When are we not going to see how amazing we are by getting up every day and sticking our own 2 feet in a pair of pants? You know,
Yeah.
we are miracles, and we have to stop trying to give other people that position of authority. Like they said, like oh, people are getting their I don't know, like their egos back basically now that Trump is back in. You need somebody else to tell you have power. Do you realize how stupid that is? You have power because you woke up this morning.
Yeah.
Because you have a friend that thinks you're incredible. You have someone that loves you, for goodness sake. Go get a hug.
Yeah.
Trump's not going to give you a damn hug, but we will.
Yeah. Yeah.
end. And it's not even about being pro-life. It's about blatant, cold-hearted murder.
Mhm.
That baby, that the most vulnerable in our society, are not given a choice, right?
Oh,
And,
but wait.
that population crash, because of that, is exactly the justification for more migration. So this is all
Yeah.
a part of the genocide and the population replacement of our nation, the treason, the coup, all of it, all of it. It's 100%. It's murder, 100% straight up murder. I like this show with the lefties losing it. Well, I wanted to play this because I kind of wanted to. There was another comment that came in here that part of this was about human trafficking, and you nailed it. Looking for that comment, I just don't see see the comment. I wanted to pull that up because the human trafficking also utilizes. Okay, so it's like you guys were reading my mind when I was putting all of this together. You know, it used to be in the movies you'd hear running for Mexico, all the worst banditos when they'd rob a bank, kill a guy, and run for Mexico. Why? Because there was lawlessness in Mexico. They could go and hide and live there and live on the run. Well, that's kind of what the situation has become here in Canada now. That everybody that is people think it's funny when the celebrities and the lefties and the Taylor Swifts, and there's a whole long list of them, say, "Oh, I'm moving to Canada if Trump wins." So people think they're getting a whole bunch of Taylor Swifts when no, they're not getting Taylor Swifts at all. You're going to be getting a lot of this, and you're going to be getting a lot of this MS-13, the worst of humanity that has been hiding in America when Trump starts closing those borders. All of those people that they evacuated out of Central America when they emptied their jails to get control of their countries back. Where do you think they're going to go? Knock-on effect. Hello, Canada. We're going to see an explosion at the border again. And oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, but where is the money coming from for all of the plane tickets? Because they can't walk across America to get there. Well, and if they can, well, that's not our fault. That's the state's fault.
Well, and we can go back to looking at the taxpayers' money, the fact that that paid for all the camps to be set up for the illegal immigrants to make their way there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pivot strategy.
Or also mysteriously how the wall didn't get finished. Oh, wait, who didn't finish the wall? It was it Biden's fault? No, think again, people. Trump could have finished it.
Value identifying with the same values, morals, ethics. No, there isn't any of that. That's going to be going on. Let me get you some comments here before I get to the next segment. What do I got here? Oh, I was talking about the MS-13 as a reference, and I use that because Trump is all over MS-13 in a bad way and has for a long time. He knows how evil they are. I got this little clip, understanding, what's coming. And Trudeau's definitely not ready. Our border is definitely not secure. It's controlled by a Chinese private corporation. So it's kind of gates wide open while they manufacture the destabilization and destruction of population replacement, killing off of our babies and replacing us. We're talking a little bit more about what human trafficking and all that is right after this clip from Tucker.
Native-born black people. Legacy black gangs had run narcotics and dope trading. When the cartels moved into California, they said to all the black gangs, if you sell dope without our permission, we will cut your head off. And they meant that literally. So every black gang had to then find an alternative revenue stream or get their dope supply from the cartels, from Hispanic gangs, because all Hispanic gangs in California kind of operate as a extension of gangs above them, which are based in prison. Native-born black people.
So they're talking about George Soros's influence one of the reasons why the Democrats failed is because they wouldn't let go. And the drug cartels. Well, who runs any of the drug cartels? It's not just the gangs in Mexico, right? Right? We know some other drug cartels that our leadership here in Canada have 100% sold out to and are complicit in the mass murder and genocide of how many millions of people through the jab and mRNA manufactured depopulation bioweapon event on humanity in an
I'm gonna
innocent,
get knocked off
unsuspecting
of YouTube
society,
for this.
right? So this I have something out of alignment here. Bear with me for just a second while I figure this out. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
I'm not going to play this video because it's an hour long. I'll leave that for you guys to fill in the blanks. But this is from Ironclad, 179,000 subscribers, on the origin of how China became so tied to the Mexican cartels with former DEA chief Ray Donovan. So this is for deeper divers that are out there, but I am going to play this other clip because when you mention cartels, dangerous cartels, MS-13, fentanyl, and all of those drugs, this is what we think of. But then we're going to take a real peel back or unboxing of this. And I'm going to have to interrupt to make a couple of comparisons. But this, I want to set the context of this in that it is they were very careful about putting this together. Anybody that follows Wendy Bell or knows Oscar All Blue knows that the vast majority of people that were coming through the Darien Gap on these massive marches of thousands and thousands and thousands of people were not just Central Americans. But this is all that they basically look at in this. So keeping that in mind, this is going to be a little disturbing at some points, but it's pretty clean.
Let's talk about why so many migrants are getting stuck in Mexico.
Oh, but sorry, the reason I wanted to start with this one was if you heard Trump's acceptance speech, he said that one of the first things that he was going to do was he was going to call the new president of Mexico and have her do their job when it comes to keeping people from invading the U.S. from the States or the U.S. from Mexico. So Trump's talking about securing that border there. What's the discussion going to be like with Canada?
Y me siento como preso en este país, como preso aquí porque no hay como avanzar.
Pero lo más complicado para nosotros sigue siendo para mí México.
Every year, thousands of migrants attempt dangerous journeys through Central America and then Mexico to try to reach the U.S.
¿Cómo están? ¿De dónde son? Venezuela. ¿Cuál es el destino final de ustedes?
Estados Unidos.
Mexico's border with the U.S. stretches more than 3,000 kilometers.
Now, at the end of last year, illegal crossings
hope
reached
they're
an
not as
all-time
high
high.
like me.
And then suddenly we saw the biggest month-to-month drop in nearly 25 years, and the numbers kept going down. Now, the Biden-Harris administration has been taking a lot of the credit. Remember, it's an election year, and illegal immigration is a big issue among American voters. But there's also been a big crackdown on this side of the border by Mexican authorities. And it's all about trying to keep migrants from getting anywhere near the border.
So we've come to Mexico to find out what's happening and what it all means for migrants trying to make it to the U.S.
I feel complete on this show, actually. Yeah, and I need to get going with my evening ritual. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to try to do this as often we can in the evenings. I'm going to be taking the next couple of days off I need to get out into nature there and enjoy the possibly the last weekend of good weather of the year. And so yeah, we'll resume this evening show on Monday. Anything you want to say is closing out there, Corey?
No, I just want to say, I mean, everything's really commonsensical, right? We need to come together and as one humanity. We shouldn't. The reason why these leaders are in power is to divide us, and that's exactly what they've been able to do. And until we change our mindset on that, they're going to continually be able to make whatever happen. You know, through the media, through pharmaceuticals, their level of control is honestly your knowledge. So feed your brain, get informed. Start working together. That's why we're here trying to build community.
Start working together. Exactly. You know, localism trumps globalism. It just has way more power.
Well, it comes down to the centralization, right? The whole reason why you do trading titans is to empower the individual, not to empower globalists, to empower you, the individual. Because when you win, everybody wins. You know, I've in the past listened to John Maxwell, and he says the reason I'm a leader is because when I go somewhere, I want to see the ocean raise all the ships, not your ship, just your ship in the harbor, all ships. Because when everyone's doing good, the world is a better place. And we look today at the level of centralization. What happens here in Canada if they turn the electricity off, the gas off, the water off? Okay, this is all centralized power. You know, this is what we need people to start thinking about. What if they did that? What are you going to do? Do you know someone that can replace this need or this service? Do you have your local community able to work together, or is your neighbor going to kick down your door and take things from you?
Yeah.
Instead, how can you help each other out? That's what we're here to try and figure out. We're better than what Hollywood is trying to paint us to be. We don't have to be this zombie apocalypse world. We're way better than that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's a good wrap, really.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Okay. We'll see you, Monday, everybody, at the same time, 5 o'clock Mountain. And then, again, Monday for Trading Titans in the morning, 7:15. You can tune in on YouTube and XL. YouTube, if I still have account on after the weekend.
Subject to change. Subject to change without notice.
Find me on X. I apparently do not get blocked for talking about all the stuff that I talk about that gets blocked on YouTube. So talk to you later.
Bye for now.